Go. Hold on. There we go. Okay, with any luck at all, I've got it pulled up in the right way. Hey guys, let me scroll this down. I want it to pop on its own. I'm gonna use this one. There we go. We got it. Moderation. Got it. Okay. Hey Jude, how are you, sweetie? You know I'll never leave my hair down. It drives me crazy. What are you up to? Hello, Loretta. How are you? I'm not getting my hair done until before I go to see my son. I'm going with the ombre look right now. But you know how it is. You're like, I want it to be done before we go in April. Hey, Alex, how are you? Justine, it's good to see you. Look at that. Gee, I know, Jude, right? Like, I don't go very live. I don't go live very often. But I wanted to chat with y'all. Really not about anything in particular. Hey, Stitching, you can see, is the camera bouncing? Looks like it is. These are Sean's plants. They started out as, thank you, Lucky Grandma. They started out as little bitty succulents. And he has, like, they are looking good. Like, he really did. Now, you know how Sean wants to save everything. So I hope Wax Boss is here. I can't see her, but I hope she's here. I've tried to unblock her every way I know how. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? I do have to when there's little, like, okay, I just can't see her. Anyway, I'm glad she's here. I have to clip the, like the dead ones off of it because it's hard for him to do it because he doesn't want to, like, give up on it or whatever. But like this one right here, like I'm like not, I just kind of sneak it and throw it away, and he appreciates it. He doesn't want to do it himself, so we help each other out with that. I went to lunch today, and then when I came home, I started making my bed, like for real. Like it's been a while that I started doing it, but literally when I get up every day, I make my bed, and that's so different than the way that I was before Sean. And I'm not blaming it on anybody, but I used to, oh my God, Jude, you're so right. That's kind of like how he sees it. Like, I always wanted the bed to jump back into if I felt like I was getting overwhelmed or, just life was coming at me too fast. Now, when I make my bed, we literally don't get back in it. Hey, yoga, until we go to bed within reason. Thank you. Sean he's, of course I'm biased because he's my husband, but he is pretty amazing. And I can't say it enough. It's, you can dabble in drama, but when you talk real life and real situations, we are super happy. But yeah, so that's, my bed is not an option to run back to right now. Like I was saying, I'm getting ready for a yard sale in March. No, we're in March. Oh, in April, a weekend in April. And I'm really, really getting rid of the stuff that's just been kind of hanging out around the house. I'm notorious for getting stuff like dirt cheap, like on clearance, like at Walmart or whatever. They were redecorating the Walmart a couple towns over not too long ago, and stuff was like 80% off, right? So Sean always jokes about this. So like, okay, I buy like whatever, 10 of them, but did I need 10? Probably not. Or like I have a food processor blender combination, like tube of them. It was like an $80 appliance set by, I think it was, what is it, Farberware? Is that what they call it? I literally got it for like 20 bucks. But do I need it? Well, no. I was gonna give it away as a wedding gift, and then I'm like, nobody else wants it either. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if I don't want it, why would anybody else want it taking up space? Um, Come here. Sawyer Brown is super confused whenever I'm like talking to myself. He's like, let me go get dad. He's not here. Okay. But yeah, so I'm ready to unload all of that, right? And like I have an electric can opener. Now look, you guys, I don't know if y'all like are partial, like you have electric can opener or not, but I find it just easier to take the manual one, pop it on. Thank you, Jude, and just open it rather than plug it in, get it out, do whatever, pop it in. And I'm curious, does anybody else like find that the electric can opener is like overrated? It was real popular, I think, in the 80s, but I feel like now it's not quite as popular. It's a funny story about a can opener. So the first time I went to my in-laws for Thanksgiving. So we started dating in May, met them in July. So we're talking about that Thanksgiving. Hey, Presley. That Thanksgiving, that was, so we go, and of course she's like, before we had gone, she said, anything that you is a special recipe of yours that you like to cook, you know, and I said, okay, and had something in mind. But when I was helping her in the kitchen, hey, Callie girl, when I was in the kitchen, you know, ready to help, she goes, if you can open these cans, yeah, sure, no problem, right? So she has one of those can openers that you twist and it literally takes the whole top off so that it's not sharp. Like, you know, you can, they always show you like the electric, that you can, like the infomercial used to go, look, it doesn't cut your hand. Remember that? Okay. So she goes, she showed me how to use it, right, you guys? And I'm watching, but I'm nervous or whatever. Y'all, after she finished telling me how and went back to what she was doing, I could not remember what she said. Like, hey, Bookers, I'm like, you know, I'm thinking, okay, so I barely listened. I was nervous. And then she goes, and I'm sitting here trying to work this thing. And I realized I have no idea how to do it, right? And I'm like, the longer I sit here and fiddle with it, you know what I mean? It's like, I look like she's going to end up being like, yeah, she doesn't know what she's, or something. So I'm like sitting there and I'm, you know, and you know, your palms get sweaty. You're like, oh. And so I kept trying and I finally figured it out. And then I busted through them real quick. But it's like the relationship that we have now is so different, and she's so nice. And it wasn't like she was going to judge me if I couldn't do it. But you know how it is. You're like, oh, I'm the new girl. I want to make a good impression. I can use a can opener. I can use a can opener. I can do this. Hey, Paula. And so, yeah, that's in my mind. We talked about it later. I told her, I was like, I was so nervous trying to work it. So there we go, 5 minutes about can openers. I'd talk to a brick wall if I thought it might talk back. I used to get talked successively in class. How many of you, and there's probably quite a few, used to get like your behavior marks or whatever when you were young? You either got talked successively in class or needs to keep quiet, not bother others and stuff like that. That was, I even have an envelope with my old report cards that my parents gave me. I always had that, right? Like talks, and you know what my response was? Well, God gave me a mouth so I could talk. Sean, Sean, I'm right here. I told him, I was like, we had talked about it last night if I did like an impromptu live, and he was like, of course that's okay. And so I told him, I said, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna be good. And I just saw his text came through and he's got the wide eyes or whatever. I got my clothes on. I'm not dragging nobody. I'm talking about can openers. Hey, here for the mess. I don't know if I said hey, but I saw you were in here. Let's see, total introvert in school. See, it takes, I could kind of see that yoga about you. Thank you, right and Wong. Wrong, I thought I said Wong. I was like, that's clever. It is very bright. It helps with electricity. The problem is when you heat it, it doesn't, it takes a while, actually it's pretty expensive to get it heated. The back part is really good. It's either cool in the summer or warm in the winter, but this front part is has problems with temperature regulation. I'm keeping it decent. Even if I was to drag somebody, I'd still do it with class. Remember last night when Sean and I told you that we had to take that screen off? Hey, Khaki, that had to take that screen off so that we could climb through the window or whatever to get the keys because we were locked out. That's the window that the pets look out to keep up with the chickens. And right now the screen's not back on, so I have it closed. And you would think that I had committed the most egregious act of animal cruelty because they keep walking up to the window and looking at it and looking at me, and like, this is absolutely unacceptable. And you know what? I will probably, what is it called, acquiesce to it and fix it as soon as I can, because it is a very, very serious issue with the Kirley pets here. Yeah, the plants, those of you who are just coming in, these are yoga, right? They drove you crazy. The extroverts right here. Soybrun, you're way down there. Lay down. These are the ones that, they're Sean's plants. A lot of you know that. Most of them are succulents. But a couple of them, like this big one right here, is that an elephant ear? I don't know what it's called. Thank you, Paula and Khaki. Are they elephant ears? Someone help me out here. He gets these little, there's someone who brings them into him. They take their house plant and put it like in a wet paper towel till it gets roots. And then he brings it home and plants it. It's so cool. And of course, she's like, Sean's amazing. He's so sweet. And I'm like, I know he is. I know. And she's probably thinking, I don't know what happened to you, but he's very, no, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, so that's, if you just came in, that's what that's about. If they're elephant ears, I'm going to plant them outside later, like this year or whatever. But I don't want the deer to eat them. Would deer eat those? I don't know. My neighbor passed away and his mom gave me these beautiful plants. And oh my gosh, that's awesome. Thank you, Loretta. It's that two-faced plump something or whatever. You guys, I'm gonna tell you something hilarious. So you know about I've been meaning to say this, but I wanted to wait until I did it on my live so I could do it in my own way. You guys know that I got diagnosed with burning mouth syndrome, right? It's a catch-all diagnosis, which means they really don't know what it is, but that's okay. It's actually a diagnosis in my chart. But I couldn't figure out, that's what I figured the deer would, but I couldn't figure out, like, it was the strangest things that would activate it. Like, I might take a bite of salsa and was fine, it didn't burn, but I would bite like a McChicken and it would just burn my mouth, right? So the doctor was like, do a chart, compare it, and find out the common ingredient that's making it do it. Loretta's here, I've already told her, she knows. Do y'all know what the same ingredient is in everything that makes it burn? And I'll even give you another hint. Country gravy makes my mouth burn. Let me think what else, and you're gonna figure it out. What do you guys think is the spice that is the worst for it that I've come across, right? Pepper, black pepper. You guys, if I'm lying, I'm dying. It's black pepper. No, I'm not allergic to it, but that is the only ingredient that is consistent in all of these things, like a McChicken sandwich, not a spicy McChicken sandwich, granted, not a spicy one, the regular run-of-the-mill chicken sandwich. So I opened it and I looked at it. Y'all, there's a lot of pepper in the batter. I know. So when I figured that out, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's totally. So now it's in my medical chart, right, Southern? So that it's in my medical chart that it is aggravated by black pepper. Is that not crazy? So y'all run, go tell it. Take that one. I'm sorry, it's funny though. And I was like, I'm not gonna tell because they're gonna think I'm crazy. And then I was like, no, when I go live, I'm gonna tell it, right? I could say the same thing, right? Like maybe I was just allergic to my ex-husband, right? And that's the common hate in your dreams. But yes, that is the common denominator in all of it. And when I found that out, I said, okay, well, my mouth is just gonna have to burn because I am not going to at any way avoid black pepper for any reason. On principle alone, I'm not going to. Hey Beeps Cat, I have not seen you. I always miss your live. How are you doing, doll? It's good to see you. Right? We are all probably so, right? All of us are allergic to exes or whatever. No, mine's okay. It's just, so there you go. That's the common ingredient. But like peppers and stuff don't always activate it. But if it's a salsa with a lot of pepper in it, I know on principle alone, yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I need to go to my live chat. Now maybe I'll see some of the people, everybody saying hi to people that I don't see. Loretta says, I don't understand why haven't you like your tongue swelling, right? I can be on with one phone and have the other one like it and just make it a big, you guys, you have no idea. I would probably, calling 911 for me, I mean, it would have to be like, because I don't want a bunch of attention attracted to my house. Hey, Icy. It would be like, I'd be like, are you sure we need to call? Or you need to call. Okay. But it's going to be loud and everybody's going to look at us. Please call. Okay. Okay. Can I call the non-emergency number? No, call the, and I'm like, that is like how I am. I don't want like the neighbors to like stare at me or whatever. And, so that's kind of the opposite of that kind of situation or whatever. Yeah, keep it in the storage unit because that's where it needs to be, right? Now, someone did ask me about white pepper. They asked me if white pepper would be different than the black pepper. I don't know. The only time I had white pepper a while back, like a spice, because some homemade egg drop soup recipe asked for it. Hey, Karen. Karen's getting her hairs did today. She's gonna look sassy, y'all. It's good to see you though, Karen, for real. Send me a picture. I want to see what it looks like. And do you know that, speaking of EpiPen, you don't even have to have a prescription for it anymore. Did you know that? It's milder. Okay, I see. You don't even you can go just tell them what you're allergic to and get one. I have a lady that lives a couple streets over that I was walking with for a while, and she told me that. She was like, no, you just tell them what you're allergic to and they will just give it to you based on that alone. I guess, is it just a big dose of epinephrine? Is that what it is? I don't even really know what it's composed of. If it's like epinephrine or what it is. But yeah, I super allergic to mold too. I can't breathe if there's a lot of mold and mildew. I know, Karen, be careful. I have it on live chat. I still can't see Wax Boss, but I'm going to work on that and figure it out. I have looked everywhere. I know I keep saying that, but I've gone into Google blocked accounts. I've gone to the channel. I've gone to, and you probably wonder why I heart everybody else's comment, never yours, Wax. It's because whenever I try to do it, it says error. And then it goes back to not, so I'm like, she probably thinks I'm not even hearting her comments. Sorry, Brian? He literally went out before I got on here. Come here. Come here. He's looking for his greenie is what he's looking for. Come here. Hold on. I do believe you're looking for your greenie. You okay? You okay? And I'm not going to stay here on a really long time. I just want to get more used to jumping on and not it having to be okay, I've got to wait till I do this, this, and this. I looked up the difference. Here are some people that can be allergic to black pepper, but not white. Since white pepper is only the seed and not the fruit, although some people, oh, I see. See, that's why y'all are there's a freeze warning. It's in the bottom right of my computer. We have a freeze warning in March. Well, at least the plants are inside. Thank you, Lord. Let us so optimistic. I will figure it out. When I'm downtown, I always carry EpiPens and now Narcan. You never know when you can help another human. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of people that are keeping it because you never know when you're going to come up on someone who see, she said, Beep said too, it's pure epinephrine. That's why we have a nurse in the chat. Yeah, I was scared. But that's what they're saying. That the fentanyl crisis is everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's like really, really like no area is not affected, like remains unaffected. You know, I'm in Virginia, it's snowing, but my lawn guy said he's coming to mow next week. Yeah, our lawn guy's ready to come mow. He keeps going, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? And I'm like, it's not growing yet. Hey, Moxie, how are you? Yes, you walked that puppy. 6 inches of snow forecasted tonight. You, Paula, I didn't see your nature video. I would like to see it. So I'm going to watch that after we get off here. I'm all about nature videos. I put one yesterday about with the deer and the chickens. The deer don't like me as much as they like Sean. But they will allow me to feed them without running. All right, you promised tacos. As you know, tacos, I'm out of here. Have a good day here for the mess. If you get blackout curtains, your kitchen won't be as cold. Oh, but look how many windows there are. That's the thing that he's laying down. There are so many windows. And the little, you know, the cheap little like curtain rods that you put and it pops on. You know what I'm talking about. That's what your go-to, like $7 a curtain rod or something. The brackets to them are already here. So if I did get some, I could just literally pop them up there. But, well, kind of like that too. And I think that, do curtains make more dust or less dust if you have allergies? I never know whether you're supposed to not have curtains if you have bad allergies or have curtains. I never know. Thank you. It's a good size. It's a good size kitchen. Lots of cabinet space. Stuff doesn't fall on me. I get tired of like, you ever been like, and sometimes it's like it can be a bigger house but not a lot of kitchen space, and you go to open a cabinet and it's like an avalanche on you. That's kind of how it was in post housing when I was an Army wife. Well, I guess I still am an Army wife, but it was an active duty Army wife. Responsibilities and specifications are different when you are with a veteran, and it's a whole different series of amazing things that you get to walk through a veteran with, especially one that's been in combat. You literally, I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like, and this may just be figurative, but I feel like they can take a deep breath and you're like, it's okay. We're going to walk through anything together that you know, that happens. And we do. And we do. He's doing really awesome though. We laugh. Now that it's light later, we go play with the chickens at night. And you know, Sean humanizes the animals. He can do voices for them that each of them have their little personalities, and he'll like talk for them, especially Tiny, who's so good at doing like like what Tiny's thinking and what Tiny's saying. Tiny likes to enjoy his hens just before the sun goes down. And you know how I am about that. I'm like, give him a second. Don't just expect him to be ready for you. Tiny's like, I don't care. I'm a rooster. But yeah, when he talks for Tiny, it's so funny. We crack each other up about stuff that most people would be like, that's really not that funny. And I'm like, but it is funny. Tiny is adorable. Tiny is the Matt daddy. Paula's y'all are gonna see it because I'm gonna put it all out the yard gathering when I get the part that's missing from this one. And she made Christmas in March happen, and it was really cool. And I showed one picture, but I'm gonna get it all together and show you or whatever. But I do. It's, and I guess people say what you can say, whatever. Of course she's gonna say that. Of course she's not gonna say that. No, I adore him. Like sometimes I'm like, how did I go this long without feeling this way for someone? And I know you guys who've had it or have it or have felt it or hope to feel it know what I'm talking about. But I guess I just didn't think that that was in the cards for me. Hey, Mama Ricky, to feel that sort of complete and total love, you know what I mean? And it's nice. Makes you want to do the little things like, have bath ready when he gets home, and he appreciates it and he vocalizes it. He'll say, thank you, that means a lot to me. Or the house looks great. You do a good job of keeping it up well. And that makes it all worth it. And I know a lot of men feel that way. They feel it, but they don't voice it. And he's good about that. He's good about, it's not like overboard, but he's really good at being like, you're gorgeous. And that means when it's coming from that source of sincerity. I love it when I get complimented. I get embarrassed, but I love it. But when he says it, and you see in his eyes how much he truly, truly means it. And then me, I'm just like, yeah, you're a sexy ass old man. And he likes that too. But we just have different ways. You're exactly right. She goes, I love my soul. Yeah, Moxie gets her going. Yes, Callie, men showing appreciation is important and express love and exactly. And that's why when I'm my way of doing it, because you guys know my personality, I'm like, you are one sexy ass old man. And he loves it, but that's how I express it. You know what I mean? Because I feel that way. That's exactly how I feel. I'm I like that he's older. I love kind of Oliver North looking dudes. And come on, that was my crush, Oliver North. Yeah, Oliver North from the 80s, the Iran Contra. Yeah, Mama Ricky loves her some Sean. But I was just oh, and if you look at Sean compared to Oliver North, I'm not saying they look exactly alike, but they carry themselves alike. The hair is similar. It's interesting that when you have something that you've always had in your mind as you didn't realize it's what you think is just unbelievably sexy, and then you meet someone who encompasses all that, it's oh wow. And I feel it's about what it's it's about what it is on the inside. That's what makes a relationship last, is what they're about, what they can talk to you about, what you laugh about. But let's be honest, we're very visual creatures, humans are. Thank you. We are very visual. And in order to start the conversation, or let's say in a bar, traditionally, now there's online, so it's a little different, but traditionally, what makes you walk over to someone and start a conversation? It's because they might look at what your type is, or or they exude some sort of energy that that you're attracted to, if that makes any sense. I literally see, there you go, Moxie, that's what I'm talking about. Moxie, you call your friend, what is it, the Audi? And that we called him the Audi guy. Thank you. Alex, I know it makes some people nauseous, the way that we act sometimes, and but it's it is. We had a Aston Martin guy. Oh yeah, no, a little bit better than an Audi. But yeah, so I would look up Oliver North. He's even older now, obviously, but he's still pretty good looking. But if you look at him like what he looked like in the early 90s and stuff, and the way he like carried himself, even down to the fact he was an army officer, it's just so ironic how similar that it is. Um, but yeah, so I thought that that was like, and that was when I started thinking, I'm curious what other people's types are. You know what I mean? Like 1930s and 40s movie. And well, you better. He needs to put a ring on it, Moxie. That sounds like that's just up your alley. I wanted to see what Callie said. Maybe I already read it. Maybe I didn't. Hold on. Acts of service and physical. Yes. Understanding others' love languages. I have read that book. I read it when I went to counseling with my first marriage. They wanted us to read that book and come up with our love languages. And mine was probably like stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I don't remember what it was, but let me see the other one. I married the absolute opposite of my type, ironically. After 20, yes, Loretta's got it. And Karen, we kind of fall for people that are either polar opposites or something like that. But I can't really articulate it, but you know what I mean. And that just makes it work. Let's see, I was gonna say the same thing. Jealousy. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Nauseous. If I miss it, I'm sorry. Nauseous sounds like jealousy. I told you this before. The way Sean looks at you, you can tell that the man loves and adores you. Yes. I mean, it's mutual, but it's I feel it too when he looks at me. I'm like, and I spent a lot of time just because of my struggles like addiction and alcoholism and working on spending constantly. Women can be pretty down on themselves. Not like, oh, poor me, not like the victim thing, but you can be kind of hard on yourself. And when someone tells you all of that is neither here nor there, I love who you are. That's a huge thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the missing element sometimes with some relationships. But I got married at 18, and so I was married for a very long time. For 22 years, something like that. Sean was married similarly, his first marriage or whatever. I remember the first year of marriage being extremely difficult with my first marriage, and that apparently is not uncommon. Even people who have been married, I'll cook for Sean and put it live. I feel like hold on, I want to pin that one. Okay, so you know me, I forgot what I was even saying. This, we all have flaws with someone. Exactly. Yeah, I had both of my children by the time I was, I was about to turn 20. I had the first one at 18, and I had the second one at 20. It was like a month before I turned 21. So, and we were in England, so there was no, family to drop the baby off and go to a movie or to do whatever. And I was a kid myself. You're right. I was a kid myself. So I learned, and he had, my ex is an amazing father, but he didn't have any experience with babies either. So we were kind of like, but you learn. Instinct takes over and you learn. My daughter wouldn't sleep in her bassinet. She ended up liking to sleep in a laundry basket. And I was like, well, when she was a newborn. And I was like, they used to put babies in drawers. Remember they show in movies, you pull the drawer out and the babies would sleep in it. That was like their little low cost thing that they slept in when bassinets were not like always affordable. But yeah, so Many of us did think so young. Yeah, and you know, when you're younger, things that you take for granted when you were younger, like even people when they used to say, "Oh, getting old as hell, don't do it," and I would be like, "Yeah, yeah, whatever." But as you get older, especially when you're in your 40s, I would assume 50s, I'm not there yet, but things start aching that didn't used to ache. You know what I mean? Like things, you're not quite as good at jumping out of bed in the middle of the night to take the dog. Like you're, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do easier when you're younger. Um, y'all seen me, I have to wear reader glasses now sometimes. Man, I never ever like thought that that would happen. And then you start seeing that it's blurry and you're like, oh my gosh, I need readers. You know what I mean? Like, um, but you ladies know that things that start to, there's more powders and what is it? Powders and sprays when you get older. Uh, someone said, spray Gold Bond is a menopausal woman's best friend. Thank you, Caitlin. And I was like, yeah, but it's pretty expensive. It's like $7. I used to put babies in boxes, forget the name of those kids. They were, oh my goodness. You jumped in right. Yes. The slightest sound. It's like, and someone said one time what that chemical is, that in your early days after you have a baby, that a woman has it, and it's what makes you be able to pop up and take care of the baby without being exhausted. Not, well, you're exhausted, but you know what I mean. A chemical that's triggered that makes it where you pop up. Stitching will be able to have perfect vision again. Let me see. Oh, I forgot I have a touch screen. Hold on. Let me see what Khaki said. Yes, Mama Ricky has it. She's got an amazing hubs too. My granddaughter just pulled it. Oh, you go see the granddaughter. Thank you for stopping by. They're endorphins, but it's called something else. If Beeps is still here, Beeps probably knows what it is. It's yeah, I'm constantly yeah, I forget. And you know, we got this laptop, and you know, we had it for at least probably 6 months before one time I accidentally touched it and it moved, and I was like, oh, it's a touchscreen too. Magnifying. My grandfather always, remember the show world when the newspaper had the show world every week and it told you, it was like a big chart that told you what was coming on which channel. It looks like the channel guide today, but it was in a newspaper. My grandfather would leave it open to the page that was for the day, and he'd have his magnifying glass and he would keep track of the thing. But it was the show world. You guys remember the show world? I don't know if your newspaper called it that, but that's what it was called in the Austin American Statesman. Let's see. It's shaking. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to look at the camera and the screen. I guess I should have put the camera like right there. Next time I will. All the women in my family don't hit menopause until their 60s. One family member hit menopause in her 70s. I hope I just anyway. That's the thing. Have a good day, Moxie. Give Sasha a hug for me. That's just it. It's like I start like looking for the signs or whatever, like, you know, things just like, okay, so you're going to have hot flashes, you're going to have this. And Sean didn't correct me the other day, but I'm going to be 44 in March, not 45. I thought about that today. I was like, 45 doesn't sound right. And then I did the math, 79. I was like, I'm going to be 44 this year. How long does your period stop before menopause? So is that how, sorry for any gentlemen who are lingering, but is that how it starts? You start skipping or getting light ones? I wondered about that. I wondered, and I think you have that for like a couple of years before it starts. I think I need to research that. My mom went into menopause later. All right, somebody save me. You're both nuts. Me and Sean or me and Beeps? Oh, me and Beeps. Okay, I gotcha. I was like, Sean's not here. So Sean's like, I'm not nuts. I know I shouldn't have jumped to that conclusion that that's who it was. Everyone is different. Okay. And when you have hot flashes, is it like something that if you go, like they always show on TV, you go stand in a cooler or a freezer and you cool down? Does that really help to do that? I've always wondered. You start spotting and then it becomes light. Oh, I tried his flashes. Hot flashes for 6 weeks. It stopped when I stopped. Oh, okay. Everyone is, yeah, that's the thing. But then I've heard, without going too far into the whole fertility journey, I've heard, been told that women can have already gone through menopause and still do fertility treatment. Is that true? Like they can already have gone through it, and but as long as medication can like make it, I don't know. That's what I was told by someone who'd gone through it. You know, when it's a hot flash because it's internal, not, oh, see? Okay, that makes sense. So it's a hormone imbalance. I'm going to try. Okay, I've heard of people getting testosterone injections, women, and it helps like not be so tired and stuff. It says most doctors ask. Yeah, they do ask. They all ask. They're, you know, especially when you get in your 40s, have you started menopause? And it's like, well, I guess you'd have to do the blood work. I don't know. I'm 60. Every once in a while, I still get hot flashes. Okay. More of my high blood. Okay. See, you feel like you're burning inside, starting at your feet, and it rises into, okay. There you go. That makes sense. See, you ladies are very, very, that's what I'm talking about. Get together and talk about experience, and then I don't have to like pay a copay. I can just find, no, I'm just kidding. I've literally, everything, all the horror night sweats are by far, that's what, and is there increased anxiety too? Caitlin, yeah, is it full, do you have like, is it mentally too, like anxiety and stuff like that? Does that happen too? Because I mean, what I've read is like, you know what I mean? Let's see, it's saying you're on, trying to be on. That she is Ryan. She, someone would do anything. Yeah, it wasn't buffering. I answered a phone call from my buddy. You know who my buddy is? Arabia. I was like, I gotta call you back, girl. Okay. The hot flashes I have, that's okay. Right. So that's the emotional part of it, I guess. I mean, now I'm like, there was a while everybody was talking about going through menopause and I was like scared. I was like, is it really that bad? Like I didn't know. But neck fans, I've heard of that. Get yourself a little neck fan when it starts, and experience speaks. Nonstop 6-hour shifts at work. Oh my gosh. I've heard oh yeah, the pictures of Loretta's tight toned derriere in a bikini are on my phone, and I'm streaming from the phone, or else I'd show you right here on the screen. Loretta started her gym journey. What, Loretta, about 3 or 4 years ago is when you started the journey. That's incorrect, your mom, like completely incorrect. But the thing is like, okay, so she has some pictures like in a bikini, and she's completely toned. And not only like, that's what's inspiring to me, is not even so much of just losing the weight, but the fact that you can get that toned even after a couple kids and being just a little bit older. That's inspiring to me. Several years ago, yep. That's inspiring to me that because I would not guess like when Loretta, and I've seen quite a few pictures of her because we're pretty good. We are good friends, not pretty good. And I would never have guessed her age. And it's not like it's absurdly old or anything, but I would have never ever guessed it. Isn't that crazy? Um, Loretta, I was gonna ask Loretta, are you back at the gym yet? She had I think 50s. Yes. Loretta is an expert on several things that older ladies use, that has educated me on several things. Y'all just wish you were on our group thread, me, Loretta, and Karen. It's kind of crazy sometimes. No, okay, I didn't want to say it out loud, but I have 20-year reunion. I've been trying the treadmill on 40 pounds in high school. Aw, I bet they're gonna recognize you immediately, and you probably look as good as you did, Caitlin. But that's cool that you're like undergoing like healthy activities to get ready for it. I would have to go. Like, I need a lot of a heads up about my reunion because I'm like, okay, I got to do this, that. I need to do this. I graduated in 97 though. So 97 to 2007, 2017. So what is it, 30? I'll have graduated 30 years in 2027. Is that right? There's a rooster talking. They're probably ready to eat. Hey, Earth, how are you? 25. Okay. So I want to go. I'm going to take my new sexy ass older man and I'm going to take him to the reunion. Have a good day, Presley. Be careful. Don't hurt yourself today. And I'm going to walk in and be like, this right here. Mm-hmm. I'm just kidding. But no, I would love to take. Yeah, they're ready to eat. Did you hear him? He's ready to eat. Thank you for sitting with me. I'll do it again. I got, like I said, I'll talk to a brick wall. I just need some subject matter and I can get to talking. Do you hear Tiny? Tiny's like, bitch, I done told you to come feed me. Anyway, y'all have a good night. And Sean and I will probably be on tonight. And there's Arabia. Hey, Arabia. Arabia, correct these losers that are saying that that you're in some sort of shelter. I'm gonna let her correct that real quick before. That is a bunch of bullshit. In fact, if I was on StreamYard, I'd give her a link. We might do that tomorrow. The chat will keep going for a second, hopefully. Arabia, you want to come on panel tomorrow? You can just talk about whatever. Anybody want to hear Arabia? Really? Hold on. Let me call Arabia back. What is she saying? I am. No shame. Okay. I think she's joking. But anyways, you guys, okay, I will talk to you guys later. That may not even be her, but I'll find out when I call her right back. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.